Hello, everybody. Larry Young here again with another segment of Older Man Living Life with Purity. And today, I think we probably got the biggest podcast I think we've ever done. And this is not with a happy heart that this one has to be delivered. This comes with a lot of pain. And this is something everyone, I think, needs to be cognizant of because there's trouble. And we're in it. And we're going to tell you all about it. And what we're talking about, and I had done an earlier podcast with the Mike McCormick book, An Almost Insurmountable Evil. And I know a lot of you have been able to buy the book now and have hopefully had time to read through it. And what we want to do now today with Alex and I is to try to go through more of the details in this book and try to lay out from a factual perspective from an eyewitness to what happened to these things. This guy is probably, if the federal government or the Supreme Court or anyone wanted to interview anybody about what happened, this guy would be on the short list.
That's right. He's
of people you'd have to talk to.
Inside information about
this guy was in the room for 19 years.
Wow.
And he's a devout Roman Catholic, and this must have caused him a lot of pain and suffering to have to divulge what he knows and what happened.
You can get killed for things that he's uncovering.
This is probably the only thing that's going to save his life, is having published this. Well, because now it's out there. What value isn't there now if they kill him?
So
he's already printed out.
There, okay.
This is why you send, the
so
copy
you want to get him before he does the book,
box.
as you're saying.
Pardon?
You want to kill the guy before he does the book.
Right. They missed their chance.
It's okay.
Okay. They missed it.
It's the same thing as that they're accusing a couple presidents of killing their chefs because the chefs would be around hearing conversations and stuff. I think Obama's chef.
He drowned.
And I think that Clinton's chef, something happened.
He got Hillaried.
I mean, I'm a chef of some sort, so if they invite you to be the chef at the White House.
Say, well, I'm busy. I'm going to send in one of my sous chefs or something like that.
So what's a good overview?
Well, I'm going to get into it. So to probably reach right for the grips of this, kind of give you a basic overview, I'm going to use the author's and the publisher's own words here to try to best express this. I can't do it any better than they did.
Good.
And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the discussion over to Alex, and I will interject from time to time, if need be, with, questions that you probably have and that I have as well. But I got to tell you, this is undoing a lot of comfort and esteem that I had built up over the years for my faith and following of the Catholic faith. And I love the faith.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong at all with the faith. The problem is with the system and with the government type church authority, and this enterprise that the Catholic Church itself has become. It's lost its way a bit, and one of the words that was brought to me this week, and I'm still dealing with this, is that the priests and the bishops have lost the humor of the Pentecost in their practice. And I didn't know what the humor of the Pentecost was because I didn't find anything funny about it. But that's not what humor was being used as.
What's the definition of
Well, the way that humor was being used in this way was about the temperament and the attitude and the feeling behind what was going on.
And they've lost that.
And they've lost that. And this came from our Virgin Mother in a locution to me. And it was very confusing to me, and I had to sit on it. But I think it was in advance of knowing that this podcast was coming in the meantime, and I was having such a problem with conscience, for doing the right thing. And I've searched, but this has to be presented.
Yeah, well, we look for confirmation that we're not screwballs and that we're not just.
Well, we might be screwballs in other areas, but this is not it. Okay, but anyway, so the back cover of this particular book, I'm going to read for you, and hopefully this sets a good tone. That we're not constructing something, we're going to use exactly what the
That's right.
architects of this did.
Excellent.
And keep in mind, this is very painful for this guy to write and present and even talk about today, because it pains him to think that things are, this diabolical and evil.
Yet he said, I've been around it for 19 years, and finally I saw what all this meant, and he goes, very disturbing to him.
Right. Put it all together.
He felt compelled that he had to put it out there.
He wasn't noticing what was going on right behind under his nose the whole time because he was so busy with everything. He wasn't connecting all the pieces together.
Right.
And now that he's had time to reflect on it, and the historical review is going on, he's like, "Oh my God, it is what happened."
Shocking, yeah.
Yeah, they're not crazy. The Sister Benedicta in Colombia
Ain't so
was not
crazy after
creating
all, yeah.
something.
Yeah.
This was probably more truthful than not. So anyway, let me start. Are you ready for the ugly truth? Joe Biden and Barack Obama networked the Catholic Church into cartel human trafficking, schemed Ukraine into becoming a biological warfare threat against Russia, and collaborated with China to release the Wuhan plandemic.
Oh, my God.
Questioning Pope Francis? You are not alone. Catholics around the world are puzzled by a pope who has defiled the Church of Jesus Christ with his own overt politics. Questioning Joe Biden? You are not alone. His toxic presidency and destructive relationship with Barack Obama ended in an old man's whimper. Or was there more to it? Mike McCormick answers your questions with the truth. An almost insurmountable evil was done by an illegitimate pope, an unclean cardinal, a compromised president, his criminal vice president, and their win-at-all-costs operatives. Based on McCormick's experience as Joe Biden's White House press office stenographer, this eyewitness account details the globalist plots perpetrated by Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, Pope Francis, the CIA, President Barack Obama, Vice President Joe Biden, Hunter Biden, Dennis McDonough, Anthony Fauci, and many others. McCormick reveals how the Obama White House networked the Catholic Church into human trafficking along the southern border, how it schemed Ukraine into becoming a biological warfare threat to Russia,
Oh, my God.
and how it collaborated with China to release the Wuhan plandemic to upend President Trump's 2020 campaign.
Wow.
In this point-by-point dissection of Obama-Biden deep state overreach and of what Archbishop Vigano refers to as the deep church and of what Robert F. Kennedy Jr. refers to as deep health, readers will understand the betrayal, death, economic destruction, and emotional damage perpetrated on them by their governments, the Catholic Church, and the globalist elites they serve.